And this summer season, the goal is to beat the heat. But how do we do that in terms of what food and drinks we consume? To help us with that, we still have in the studio nutritionist and dietitian Tiffany Santuyo. She's a faculty at Benilde School of Hotel, Restaurant, and Institution Management. Good morning again,
Good morning.
and thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Now, it's been extra hot these past few days. I mean, heat index, what Christine mentioned earlier, 51 degrees, my gosh. So, aside from engaging with too much activities, it is also important to watch out what type of food and drink we consume, ano? So, I guess one thing is for sure, though, that we should avoid or try to limit beverages that contain too much sugar. And some people say just plain old water is a good choice. What can you say about this?
Well, water is still a good choice for hydration. Maybe squeezing a little bit of some lemon juice or calamansi juice, and instead of, if you want to have it to give it a little taste, add a little bit, a pinch of sugar, that's fine, but not too much, so that you're not also craving for more water. And also drink it cold, because cold water or cold temperature can actually make you feel more refreshed, and it's actually being absorbed by the body faster, the water, compared to a hot beverage.
Now, let's go with what you mentioned of adding fruit and fruit slices or maybe lemon to the water. Now, a lot of restaurants maybe see this. A lot of homes also have special, like water containers with that. Is there another benefit of adding fruit slices to your water aside from improving the taste?
Yes, it's actually, it adds electrolytes to your body, and electrolytes are like these are minerals that helps in absorbing more water, like or retaining water to our body, like for example salt, potassium. So some fruits have higher amount of those electrolytes, and when you squeeze a little bit of that in the water, it actually helps you absorb more or retain more water in your body.
Okay. Now, siguro for some people where lemon isn't that readily available, maybe calamansi,
yes, cucumber
is a good alternative
yes,
to that.
just make sure that after you've soaked it in the water, you throw it out the following day if you're not going to eat it.
Of course, yes. And you also mentioned the temperature of the water. I think that's, I hear sometimes that you should drink warm water or maybe body temperature water, while some people say that cold water is more beneficial because it cools, it lowers the core temperature. Which is which?
Some people would also say that hot water is better, for example, when you're eating too much fatty food.
Okay.
Although there's no concrete evidence that says that it actually hardens the fat that you take in. It's good to take in cold water because cold water is being absorbed more because we have body heat. So it cools us down. So if you're under the heat or under the sun, if you drink cold water, it cools your temperature down, which also prevents you from having heart attacks or stroke, which is usually the common cases during the summer.
Right. But I guess whether warm or cold, at least the good thing is that they are drinking water. That's the important thing. Now, another thing during the summertime that we have to watch out for are food and beverages that contain caffeine. So, I mean, they always say that moderation is best and stuff like that. But what should we do sometimes when we get that urge to drink these caffeinated, highly caffeinated drinks and food?
Okay. Caffeine is, usually we don't recommend it. No, not that we don't recommend it. It's high in caffeine, or caffeine is actually a diuretic, which gives you the urge to urinate. So when you have that urge, you have to drink more water. You have to fill it in back. So if you want to have a cup of coffee, for example, maybe 1 or 2 cups a day is fine, because that actually is the index, or that is the acceptable amount based on the standard. And then also, if you want to increase your coffee intake, maybe put in more ice, so that you increase your water intake as well, your fluid intake as well.
Now let's go to the food naman for the summer. What kind of food should we consume naman? And is it important to take smaller portions or bigger amounts of food?
Okay, the food that is best for the summer would be those that are, for example, fruits and vegetables that are high in moisture content. For example, cucumbers, watermelon, watermelon. And the good thing about that is that it's all in season.
Okay.
So it's not expensive, and it's also not very hard to find. So anything that that gives you water when you bite in it are very good sources also of hydration, or good hydration food items.
Okay, does that mean we should consume less meat, maybe? Like
Less fried
pork,
food,
beef?
probably. Fried food, like less too sugar or too much sugar,
Okay.
because also it kind of take out the things that you have already taken to hydrate yourself.
Okay, how about the portions naman? Should we eat smaller portions when it's hot, or should we eat one big meal a day?
Smaller portions is still the best.
The best.
Okay, small frequent feeding, or we say, or small portions per meal is always the best, because it actually helps you digest more or more efficiently.
Okay, and thank you very much for all
You're
that
welcome.
information. Now we know what to eat and what to drink during the summer. That was nutritionist, dietitian Tiffany Santuyo from the Benilde School of Hotel, Restaurant, and Institution Management.